And everyone in America's bracket is busted.
Officially, right? Or at least on the major platforms. I don't think anyone's got a correct bracket.
They are all so busted. So busted. And here was what I was going to say at the beginning of the show, before the ad, which you should always listen to. Don't skip that shit. Don't skip that shit. We don't gamble well. Don't skip that shit.
Well, a lot of times during the ads, we put in the best parts of the show.
The secret tokens you're talking about.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, don't say that.
Well, I mean, the QR codes for the Bitcoins.
Yes.
What I was going to say is I love these shows, these specific shows that we're about to do right now, because we match the mood of our listeners. We match the mood of America. We match the mood of everyone, guy and girl, who has spent the last 4 days watching wall-to-wall basketball, whose eyes are bleeding, whose ears are ringing, whose brain is melting, and we still have 8 more games to go.
My ass is asleep. My ass has been asleep for the last 12 hours. You know how on your phone you can see how many steps that you've taken and monitor how active you've been? I'm at an all-time low, I think, for steps taken over the course of 3 days, maybe in the history of the universe. And I bet you if there was an app that showed your couch, how much ass time instead of screen time, how much ass time I had on my couch this weekend, it was probably 38 hours?
Yep.
38 hours of ass time on a couch watching college basketball.
I have
this
bed
weekend.
sores. I
got stung in my asshole today. Something stung me.
I have straight up bed sores from the couch when when someone is bedridden and they have to rotate their body position because they get so sore from just doing nothing. That is what I have on my whole body.
You got to rotate.
My brain just is throbbing. If my brain is pulsating in the worst type of way. And guess what? I loved every second of it.
Yeah.
It's absolute chaos. The brackets are completely busted, and we're here to break it all down.
It took a year of not having March Madness to make you really realize how much you love it.
Yeah.
I love feeling this miserable right now. Yes. And I want to walk something back. But I didn't get stung on my asshole. What happened was I felt a weird tingling sensation on my butt, and it turned out that my asshole fell asleep from sitting on a chair too long.
Yeah.
First time that's ever happened to me.
My body right now consists of part Coors Light, 75% Tums, probably 85% just poop.
100% reason to remember the name.
and 175% of just losing bets and bracket busters.
Hank, is the podcast out yet?
All right, let's do it. Let's break it down. So we're going to go region by region because we need guardrails for ourselves on this show. I walked over to PFT at the bar an hour ago. I was like, hey, let's try to do it region by region because I was just thinking about how we're going to talk about this, and I need memory triggers for all of these games and moments.
I don't remember. I was looking through all the games here. I don't remember anything about USC against Drake. Did that game happen?
Yeah, Evan Mobley, baby. Mobley, baby. Number 2 pick. Andy Enfield, shout out. One of my favorite stories is whenever a school gets a top recruit and also at the same time hires that top recruit's dad as the assistant coach.
Yeah. Jackson State could never.
Great. I would do that all the time. All the time. All right. Well, Jake is also, we tasked Jake with getting us our preview of One Shining Moment, where he's been documenting what he thinks will be in One Shining Moment.
Yeah.
And we'll get to that. So let's start. Region by region, we're going to start in the South because I think the South obviously has the number one story, and that is Oral Roberts, the second 15 seed all time, the first being Dunk City, Andy Enfield, and now at USC, Florida Gulf Coast in 2013. Oral Roberts is the second all time. They stunned Florida. They are the story of the weekend. They're into the Sweet 16. And also they kicked the shit out of Ohio State. Didn't kick the shit out of them, but that was a crazy game as well.
Yeah, anytime a 15 beats a 2, it does count as a shit kicking.
Now,
because we're counting every time we talk about whether or not it's an ass beating, we're in our own heads factoring in the spread that we gambled on.
Right.
So it's according to that, it was an ass kicking. It's interesting watching which big J's are making the oral jokes and which ones are staying away. And I'll just January, February, oral. That
there it
John
is.
John Rossi, for listening, either that or death, taxes, oral.
Okay.
Either way.
So I have a question for you.
Yep.
I have a question for you. Oral Roberts, If you're an Ohio State fan,
We should make those T-shirts.
we should
Death
make those
taxes
t-shirts.
oral.
Death taxes oral.
I said gluck gluck over chomp chomp when they beat the Gators today.
Yes. If you're Ohio State, so the fact that it's named Oral Roberts, Oral Bob beats you. Mm-hmm. The fact that that's the name of the school makes it so significantly worse because there are like 15 beating a 2 is something people will bring up forever for Ohio State. Now, the question is it better or worse for Ohio State fans that Oral Bob is now in the Sweet 16 because they also beat Florida? Is it worse because now their story becomes bigger and more like, mythological? Or is it better because we're now talking about them like Oral Bob is in the Sweet 16? I don't even remember who they beat in the first round.
Yeah, I actually don't think that Oral Roberts University is allowed to technically go dancing. They're like Liberty, where it's like the town in Footloose.
Yeah, it is Footloose.
Yeah, where you can't actually advance the dance. But I think, Big Cat, you're onto something. I don't think it's as bad under most circumstances because now the story is this school that sounds like a blowjob. They're going on a little run here. But with Ohio State, you have to factor in the Michigan factor, which is perhaps the most active message board community.
Right.
Their fans are going to bring up the loss to Oral Roberts more than any other possible rival school in the entire country could.
And it becomes a funny piece of trivia that will forever be brought up. Like if you lose as a 2 seed and it is to pretty much any other team. Or Lehigh or Colgate even. Like, oh, you're going to make toothpaste jokes? Who cares?
As long
Oral
as
Roberts is a killer.
As long as it's not to like butt-fuck university.
Right.
That's the only way it could be worse. Yeah, it's going to be – but then Ohio State's going to have like the easy comeback, which is Oral has beaten us more times than Jim Harbaugh has.
That's true.
And so then Oral over Harbaugh, and then that's a way to pivot off that. But it's not good. But it would be a lot worse if it was just they won that one game,
right,
and then they lost in the second round.
Right. All right. So they're the story of the tournament. They're going to be matching up against Musbus. Shout out our guy Musbus, Eric Musselman, and the Arkansas Razorbacks into the Sweet 16. I love this about the Musbus, and especially shout out our guy Anthony Ruda, who hooked us up with Mus and is on their staff, and I think he does most of the scheduling. Little fun fact: Arkansas played Oral Roberts in December. They beat him by 11. They were actually down at halftime, I believe. And the reason why they played him, and this is March Madness, if it's like the one thing that defines March Madness is coaches' stories and the narratives of players and how we build everything up. But Eric Musselman wanted to play teams that he thought, lower conference teams, that he thought were going to win their conference and be in the tournament. So that's why they scheduled Oral Roberts. I think they also played Abilene Christian.
They played Abilene Christian, Oral Roberts, and North Texas.
So there it is.
Three.
So this was all by
game.
Design that he was like, there's a chance we could play one of these teams, so we want to schedule the best teams in the lowest conferences. So this is, if you were sitting here, and I think I remember watching that game.
This is 5-dimensional chess.
Yeah, I think I bet on that game in December, and I watched it. And I know I bet on that game.
And they hung tough.
They did.
Oral Roberts by 11, Abilene Christian by 13,
right,
and North Texas by 15.
But
so
the fact that a December game between Arkansas and Oral Roberts was a preview for the Sweet 16, a shot at the Elite Eight, is crazy. And now, so that game's gonna be great.
I'm a Musbus believer.
Yeah,
the runs that they go on when they decide to step on the gas pedal of the Musbus and they turned it on against Texas Tech, it was like. There's no going back.
They also have fun names.
It's electric. Yes.
Moses Moody, J.D. Note.
Yeah.
Fun names.
Moody, I love it.
Those are fun names.
Is there any other mouth-related team that they could, because they got Colgate, Monmouth's not in it.
Monmouth's not in it.
Canisius isn't in it.
Canisius.
I think that's all the mouth.
I think that is.
They have the opportunity to run the game.
Lipscomb. Yeah, there we go, Jake.
Thank you, Jake.
Nice deep pull.
Yep.
All right, so that's one side of one part of the bracket. The other side. It sucks that the way that they made the tournament this year, that it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, because in a regular year, we would be doing the show on Thursday night, and I would be saying the Wisconsin Badgers are the greatest team in the country. Because what they did to UNC, your boy Roy,
it's COVID year.
29-0 in first-round games.
Big Cat, it's COVID
29-0 in first-round games until he ran into the buzzsaw that is the Wisconsin Badgers.
I agree with you. This performance from UNC was abysmal. Like, the only way I can describe it is UNC looked like they were playing pool basketball on offense. They would, like, get the ball, pivot around, maybe like take a couple steps, pass it, they were having like no sort of motion. It just looked completely uncoordinated. It was a painful game to watch as a diehard UNC supporter.
And it was I do like UNC as a diehard Duke hater. I've always had love for UNC. I even spent after the game today, Wisconsin and Baylor. I spent about 20 minutes just going back into Duke men's basketball Twitter and just retweeting all their losses. Rude. It made me feel better. You don't want me to make you want your friend to feel better?
I do. I want you
to
feel
feel great. We all cope
great.
a different way. But either way, that Friday night game, like if you had not watched any college basketball, if you wiped away all the records and you watched all the games on Friday, you would say Wisconsin is the best team in the country.
Yeah.
And then they showed up on Sunday, and Baylor is so much better than Wisconsin.
So that's what my thought was. Jake and I were in the Moron Madness pool together. We picked Wisconsin because we thought that, like, wow, Wisconsin looks legit. They're going to score some points even against Baylor. We picked them. That was an unfortunate pick. And, Jake, I would have given you my half of the earnings if we had won the $5,000.
Means a lot.
So,
I appreciate it.
Well, no, you would have given. I thought you were going to give half to charity and then half to Jake.
No, I was going to give Jake. I was going to give Jake that, and then I was going to give
match.
You're
going to match
I was going to match it,
personally
match the donation
for charity,
and then I was going to give my half of the Bitcoin to TJ for Rutgers.
Right. Yeah.
That's what's awesome about losing bets that are like in a team environment is you can say whatever you want after the fact.
I was going to match too, Jake. And
Big
give
Cat
it to
was,
you.
yeah.
I was actually going to match with interest. So I was going to match as of Thursday, whatever the interest was.
I appreciate you thinking of me.
Over those 4
course.
days.
I would have donated some to the Barstool Fund, too.
But yeah.
Oh, wow.
I actually would have.
Wow.
So,
yeah. How much?
1,000.
1,000? Why not 2? Make
You know what,
it
Jake?
2.
If you donate 1,000, I'll match.
Okay, I'll match 2. I'll double.
If I won.
Yeah,
no,
right.
No. But right now, like I'll.
No. Your hypothetical
Yeah,
1,000.
I actually would have.
Right, and I would have matched, doubled.
Yeah.
Damn.
You know what? I'll triple it. I'll triple your hypothetical match. There it is. Look at that. We just raised $5,000 for the Barstool Fund. If you had won it.
If Wisconsin had covered that spread. Yeah. It looked like they were playing two different sports.
It's
like
just
Baylor. You should not be allowed to dunk as much as Baylor was dunking today. Especially knowing that Wisconsin's game is predicated off of taking charges, calling intelligent timeouts, and just and like 2-foot set shots that go off the backboard.
Yeah.
They're a great YMCA team, and Baylor was like scraping their heads on the rim.
Well, it really was, and I'm not saying this just to say this because I know that we like to poke fun at the sadness that I experience as a sports fan. This wasn't the like heartbreak game. They had to beat Baylor in an unbelievable upset for me to then have my heart broken. This was never going to be as good as they were on Friday, and that's so much fun. Tournament wins, never apologize for tournament wins. If your team wins in the tournament, I don't care if they lose the next game like Wisconsin lost in the second round. Friday night was fucking awesome. I had a great time. I read all the recaps. It was awesome. The Baylor is just so good. Their guards are so good defensively, and they're just kids, okay? They're just kids. I want to criticize, but I'm not going to because they're just kids.
Well, I'm not criticizing when I say that Baylor was just like way.
No, I know. I was going to say other stuff about Greg Gard, and he's just a kid.
Better than Wisconsin.
Greg Gard's just a kid.
I'd like to put my hand up and say I apologize for not giving Baylor enough respect. Turns out Baylor was a team that people weren't respecting as much.
Well, so the reason why Baylor lost their respect was they had COVID. And when they came back, they then lost to Kansas. Then they got bounced in the Big 12 tournament. Everyone's like, they're a different team now after the COVID.
Post-COVID,
so
yeah.
it was like
Cam Newton.
That's people kind of forgot about them. By the way, Baylor, I'm not going to try to take away what you're about to do with your One Shining Moments, but if we're talking like storylines and what beat writers are looking to write about in the middle of the week, the Jackson Moffitt, the mullet kid, who just
Matthew Mayer.
What's his name? Why did I say Jackson?
Jackson Moffitt
it's actually his name. Matthew. Yeah.
Why did his Twitter handle's Jackson Moffitt.
Okay, I was about to say if Jackson Moffitt
Baylor?
isn't also the name of a mullet guy, then he needs to do some work.
Yeah, wait, no, that's a different guy. Wait, Mullet Bros. He's the bench bob mullet bro of Matthew Mayer.
Got it. Okay.
So when you search, wow, Jackson Moffitt, good job, dude. Because if you search Baylor mullet, Jackson Moffitt comes up first.
Wow.
He's
And
cucking.
I honestly have never.
No,
heard
I
of
don't
him,
think
so
he
he's the end
plays.
of-
Right,
bench
that's
guy,
actually
yeah.
because that actually is also part of March's the bench guys, and we'll get to Abilene Christian. The bench
Meyer,
guy.
by the way, I need to correct myself.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't care.
just-
The bench kid who didn't play a minute for Abilene Christian doing horns down the court after the game, going viral. So the bench mob guys and UCLA bros. So anyway, Matthew Mayer, he's gonna get a lot of stories written, but because he catches the ball in that like elbow extended and he's just wet, and he's got a sick mullet, and Baylor just jumps all over the place, and their guards are insane. And yeah, you're right. I think Baylor. We'll see. Hopefully the Must Bus comes out of here.
I'm rooting for the Must Bus. Did Jackson Moffitt, Matthew Mayer, did he have a mullet before the tournament?
Yes,
or is
he
this
did.
A tournament
No,
mullet?
he had it before.
I love that.
I knew
I
it
love that
before.
because there's a difference between a tournament mullet. Because I think the guy I could be wrong, but I think the guy from Gonzaga that's got the handlebar mustache, I think that's a tournament handlebar.
So
the guy that looks kind of like if Billy played in Leonard Skinner. You know
Right.
the guy I'm talking about?
Yes.
That to me seems like a tournament facial hair. This guy I think is legit.
I remember tweeting about Matthew Mayer like sometime in early February because he put lightning bolts in his mullet.
That's sick.
And I was like, oh, fuck, this guy's awesome.
That guy fucks, yeah.
And then he turned out to show up and beat me. We forgot about Villanova. That was funny. There's always – the Villanova is the quintessential I think Winthrop was even trending on Friday before the game because everyone picked Winthrop. The 12-5, Villanova struggled down the stretch. Colin Gillespie gets hurt, all these things. And then, Villanova, turns out they're still pretty good, and Jay Wright's still a really good coach.
They still have Jay Wright.
Yeah, and they got to the Sweet 16 fairly easy, even though North Texas, upset Purdue, and that made it a little easier for them.
Yeah, there are some things that have changed this year that I don't know if they're going to impact the future of the sport entirely, but one of the things that's changed is the coaches not wearing suits all the time. They just kind of gave up on that. I think that if it's Jay Wright or Tony Bennett, like those guys are suit guys. I get uncomfortable seeing them not wearing suits on the sidelines.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Like if we're talking about Huggy Bear should be allowed to wear like a robe and slippers. And
Rick Pitino's a suit guy.
Yeah, white suit.
Yep.
Very one pant.
Oh,
leg
I
that's
have something for you
attached,
about
tied around
Rick
his leg.
Pitino.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we'll get to it. We'll get to Iona.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Yeah, you should be.
Okay. Do I have a stalker too?
He's going for you now.
Oh fuck. Fuck.
Keep listening, folks.
I'm done making. Okay. Well, yeah. Stay tuned for that. But
Keep listening, folks.
I'll put it this way: if you've won a national championship, you should be required to wear a suit on the sidelines.
Bill Self, no. Everyone else, yes.
I like Bill Self in a suit.
I think Bill Self has a nice, he's good. He's a good polo guy, but I agree. Coach K is a suit guy. Jay Wright's
If
a
he was
suit
in the
guy.
tournament, yeah.
Yep. If he was in the tournament, which he's. I actually, it's been so long, I can't even envision Duke in the tournament.
What is Coach K doing right now? Do you think he's watching the games?
Yeah, for sure.
He's probably got a burner out there.
You know what he's probably doing? He's probably writing down notes of every kid that took a three when they were up too much, and being like, "Well, I'm gonna have to go barge into that locker room next year and coach that team for them."
Well, you know what it is. Coach K's probably got burners. He's probably the guy that was in the Ohio State players' DMs on Instagram, threatening his life.
Dude, that
which,
was
by the
fucked
way,
up.
that sucks. I know that we joke about the burner lifestyle on the show, which I still appreciate. I love all the burners out there. Burner gang, squad up.
Shout out Youngstown Bob, my burner person.
Yeah, but it definitely goes way too far. That's fucked up.
They're just kids.
Yeah,
Just
they're
say
kids.
it. Which I want to sell that shirt, but I realize out of context, it probably wouldn't be good to walk around with a shirt that just says they're just kids.
Yeah, because you can interpret that one or two
Way
ways.
too many
Buy that one, buy the death taxes and oral.
Yeah.
Actually,
nice-
let's just
nice
put
combo.
it one on the back. Death tax store on the back. They're just kids on the front.
And then, yeah.
Oh fuck! All right, so all right. Oh, the other thing I want to say: shout out North Texas, Mean Green.
Yep.
I love their jerseys. I love Mean Green. I also, did you know this? Fun fact: Mean Green is because of Joe Green.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I even knew it.
I thought that was a fake out. I thought somebody was psyching me out when they told me that.
Yeah.
There's no way. They renamed their entire program after Joe Green.
Because the Yinzers thought that North Texas, when Joe Green went to play for Pittsburgh, he was Mean Joe Green. They thought the Yinzers thought it's a classic college friend meeting post-college friends and being like, oh, I thought that just was your name. They thought he got the name Mean Joe Green from Texas, North Texas, because they were the Mean Green. And really, they just got he got it at North Texas, not because of North Texas.
Wait, so he was renamed Mean Joe Green after post North
he
Texas?
was Mean Joe Green,
and then
he went to Pittsburgh, and the Yinzers were like, dude, that's sick that your team name is Mean Green.
Yeah.
And your last name's Green. He's like, no. I don't know if I have that right. Either way,
I'm still a little confused by this. I think they named the team Mean Green after Joe Green.
Look it up. Look up North
right
Texas Mean Green. They also have their nickname, their mascot, Scrappy the Eagle. And their
so they were like the
secondary
Eagles.
mascots, the albino squirrel.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I
That
like
is
that
really
too.
cool.
I also wish every time I see UNT, I wish they were called the College University of North Texas.
Yeah,
That's
that
probably
would be cool.
that might be. We could put that on a shirt too.
Yeah, that would be very cool. Do you have it, Hank?
It doesn't say. I'm trying to find out what their mascot and name was before Joe Green.
Right.
It looks like it's probably just the Eagles though, because they have Scrappy.
No, but I'm telling you, hold on. I'm going to find it.
The albino squirrel is pretty
Okay,
badass. Though.
here we go. I'm going to read it to you. Ready? The name Mean Green was adopted by fans and media in 1966 for North Texas football defensive squad that finished the season second in the nation with Joe Green. Hold on. Where did I read it? Okay.
It doesn't say anything about before though.
It sounds like they called their defense, like the Purple People Eaters. It sounds like they gave that nickname to their defense because of Mean Joe Green. And then they were like, you know what? The Mean Green is just a cool name. Let's stick with it. Kind of like the football team. You win a division championship, roll with the football team as your name.
Yeah. I like my version better, though.
I
still didn't really understand
I don't even know if there's an
what your
official thing.
version was.
The Pittsburgh was like, dude, how's your name? Your name's Mean Joe Green because of Texas? And he's like, no, that's just because I'm mean and my name's Joe Green. And then they're like, but also North Texas is green, right?
Okay, got
And
it.
then
I
they're
thought
like,
you were saying.
oh shit, maybe we are mean green.
I thought you were saying there was a battle going on between Yinzers and people in
no,
Texas
no.
over how they got the name, kind of like the license plate battle that always rages on between Ohio and North Carolina about who invented the Wright brothers.
Yeah, no, this was. I just made this up in my head, I think. And now that I'm replaying it, but I really like this
It's been
version.
a long weekend.
No, but I like this version.
Uh-huh.
They were just like, damn, isn't that crazy coincidence that you played for the Mean Green and your last name's Green, but it's not.
There are some give and takes to this opening weekend and how it's been scheduled out. Positive, all the brackets, we're lining them up. We're playing like one side of the bracket a day. I love that. It's easier to keep track of. Negative, our brains are just completely turned to chowder.
I'm so confused
Positive,
by myself.
you get a podcast like this coming out on Monday morning.
Okay, wait. I got one last.
I don't know. Is that getting?
I got one last note about the South. I'm not going to say anything bad. Oh, I have two last notes. I'm not going to say anything bad about Purdue, but God damn it, Purdue. The first time I think I've ever said nice things about Purdue and being like, watch out for Purdue, they fucking do that.
That'll teach you.
That will teach me to never be nice to Purdue again. And then the other note is, shout out Virginia Tech for being the first team eliminated from the round of 64, and they had a great season.
Yeah. Congrats.
Number 3 in the ACC.
You went to the big dance this year.
Yep, that actually matters, okay? All right, let's go to the Midwest. Yeah, before we do that, a quick word from our friends at Outback Steakhouse. When the game is on, you don't want to leave the couch, but you do want to eat delicious food. You can get the best of both worlds with Outback delivery. All of the cheese fries, coconut shrimp, and wings you could possibly ask for. Also, the bread at Outback is delicious. Just going to throw that out there. We actually do get Outback delivery all the time.
We do. I went to Outback last weekend, and noted Outback aficionado Jeff D. Lowe is a go-to. I asked him, I was like, I want to be prepared. What do I order? He told me exactly what I get. And he told me to get the side of broccoli, which I normally don't. It was delicious. But then Jeff was like, you have to order it well done. I didn't know that. Don't make the same mistake I did.
There we go.
Order the broccoli well done.
Yes, and here's some other appetizers you can get from Outback. You can deliver online. Bloomin' Onion. Always, I mean, that bloomin' onion is like number one off the board all the time. Gold Coast coconut shrimp, 3 cheese, steak dip, Aussie cheese fries, kookaburra wings, chicken tenders, and it's all at Outback. All of your mates will want to virtually join your watch party if you order Outback apps. We're pretty sure they'll be able to smell the deliciousness through the screen. It is the best time of the year. it is time to order on Outback. Outback Steakhouse. It's tournament time, which means your eyes will be glued to the screen 12 hours a day for 4 days straight. But your mouth, it's free to be stuffed with all the Outback Steakhouse bloomin' onions, cheese fries, and coconut shrimp you want. And you don't have to leave the couch because you can order it all for delivery. So do that now. Thank you to Outback. We genuinely love Outback. Great place. Again, the bread, fantastic. And now they deliver. So make sure that you check them out and you don't have to get off the couch. That is super, super easy. Okay. Midwest. So, turns out Loyola Chicago is very, very good, which actually we knew. And if you want to make the argument that they were screwed with an 8 seed and Illinois was screwed more being matched up with them as an 8 seed, I'll buy that argument because they're not an 8 seed. But holy shit, they actually like kicked the shit out of Illinois. And Illinois is really, really good. Like I thought Illinois was in my power rankings number 1. In the last 3 weeks of the season, yeah. I was right.
I had a future on him like a sucker. But it turns out that like Kofi Coburn, despite being like the biggest person to ever exist, can be defended against if you have just like a bunch of guys that are 30 pounds, kind of overweight with raggedy facial hair that make insanely good passes.
Cameron Krutwig.
I love Cameron Krutwig.
He is not overweight. He's a
king.
Perfectly tuned athlete.
He's a king. Sister Jean. I'm going to go off on Sister Jean real quick.
Wait, did you want me to read her pregame scouting?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Yeah,
I'll read
go
it
ahead.
and then you
Please
go off.
read it.
I'll read it and then you go off. So she did the pregame prayer.
Yeah.
And she said, as we play the Fighting Illini, we ask for special help to overcome the team and get a great win. We hope to score early and make our opponents nervous. We have a great opportunity to convert rebounds. As this team makes about 50% of layups and 30% of its 3 points, our defense can take care of that.
Mm-hmm. She thinks that she's Kirk Goldsberry. She thinks that she's an analytics person right now.
Unreal.
I saw somebody react to this tweet. I have to echo the sentiment. They said, Sister Jean, this is not a nice prayer. I'm not sure what they teach in convent, but praying for victory of games and praying to have the opposition nervous is very Christian, but not very Christ follower-like.
Whoa. So
Sister Jean is being attacked. She does tend to overshadow the players sometimes. You know what? I'm not gonna go off on Sister Jean like I thought I would. Turns out she is a 101-year-old nun, so it feels like maybe that might be an instance of potentially punching down a little bit.
I think that's when you do go after her.
Speak truth to power.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Sister Jean's a witch.
Well, here's the thing.
No, I straight up think I think she's a witch.
PFT, Sister Jean, like Big God. If Big God's given big religion is given a presentation of why God exists, Sister Jean should be the number 1 slide because we've all prayed to God for wins and it very rarely happens. Sister Jean is somehow just like not like has a direct line to God and being like, hey, can we get in a Sweet 16 this year? That'd be nice.
Well, she might be coming for God's throne. That's what I'm saying. Like,
crazy.
I think that she's a witch. I think that
Final Four was nice, but can we, maybe up the ante this time?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I think it's like a little dark magic. I think that she's trying to what she's doing right now. And Big Cat, you're falling for it. She's drawing people away from God's light and more towards Sister Jean's light. Mm-hmm. So it's like the Beatles saying they were bigger than Jesus. Is that what Sister Jean is doing? Is she usurping God? Is she the Meghan Markle of the kingdom of heaven?
What an awesome encore for her, though.
We've been talking about the Mean Joe Green thing. I think it's only fair that this is what Loyola Chicago does.
Sister Jean.
Yes.
Becomes the name of the instead of the Ramblers.
Yeah.
They're the Sister Jeans.
Yes.
The clutch Jean.
I mean, think about it. Every time you hear Loyola Chicago, you're going to think Sister Jean.
Yeah,
right?
you are.
Mean Jane Green.
Also, I like that she doesn't even try to like clap anymore. She just like lightly pats her hand on the back of her hand, which might be because she's like 120. But I still, anyone who's that efficient with their time and space, like I'm cool with that.
Mm-hmm. But I do like watching Loyola play. Like,
yeah, of course, they're awesome.
The passes that Krutwig passes, it's crazy. And also, it's funny when you tweet about Krutwig at the same time as you're tweeting about soccer. People tend to think that you're not watching They're like, "Why are you talking about Why are you talking about soccer, bro?" It's like, no. Cameron Krutwig is not, in fact, a Bundesliga striker.
Yeah.
He is a powerhouse of a center for Loyola Chicago.
Here's a crazy thing. Have you heard this? Have you seen this? Have you heard about this? People online tend to think that I look like Cameron Krutwig because that's all my mentions. I don't see it. It's a mustache.
I don't see it. It's like, so with Big Cat, if anybody is like a little a portly gentleman.
How about
a man
instead of talking about
who
his,
can afford good meals.
instead of talking about his weight, why don't you talk about his sick footwork?
Yeah, everyone
and
knows
great
about your drop
passing?
step. That's what really reminds.
That's what people
yeah.
were being like, oh shit, have I seen that? Have I seen that footwork in the low post before? Oh yeah, that's Big Cat.
Yeah, Big Cat's got eyes in the back of his head. Like, he's a great passer.
Yeah.
But anytime someone's like a little chunkier, might have some facial hair, it's Big Cat. Anytime there's a man or a woman with long hair and sunglasses, it's me.
Yeah, I feel bad for Illinois. They had an unbelievable season. They just got straight up. They got outcoached. They got outcoached. Brad Underwood got his lunch stolen by Porter Moses.
He got sweaty again. Did you notice that?
Porter Moser. What is his name?
I think it's Moser. I can.
Porter Moses, though.
Never not Moses.
It's fucking God. God's on this team. Why do you think their coach is named Moses?
Yeah. Hey.
Let me.
Well, if it was
let
Moses,
me be a journalist here, Jake. In March, I want to write my byline. It will be the lead will be. You thought they were led by God and Sister Jean. Turns out Moses is their coach. Mm-hmm. There you go. It is Porter Moser. Moses.
So.
Either way, Loyola Chicago is fucking good. They're 7 in Ken Palm now. They're the 7th ranked team in Ken Palm. That's why I think if you're Illinois, I think your range of emotions are 1, Brad Underwood really fucked this game up. 2, that was an awesome season, and you're probably in good hands. And yeah, it didn't work out, but whatever. Illinois has had a rough go of it for a while, so it's good that they're back. And then 3, they got totally fucked by the fact that Loyola Chicago was an 8 in their fucking bracket.
Yeah.
And that team is really goddamn good.
Yeah, they made a lot of people look like fools picking against them. Hand up, I did that too. And now they get to move on. It looks like they're going to play against Oregon State. There's 7 minutes left.
No, let's not.
7:45.
Oregon State's the best team in the country as of right now.
Listen, I have a significant. I went on tilt after I lost all my potential earnings and donations. In about a 30-minute span when Rutgers went out and then Florida blew it at the end.
Yep.
And so then I went on tilt, overcorrected the other way, fired a missile at Oregon State. So I'm hoping they can keep up that spread right now because that would be wonderful for me personally. But then Loyola against Oregon State, Loyola is going to go to the Elite Eight.
Well, if Oregon State wins this game, and we'll finish by the end of the show, we'll know. They have the way they're playing right now, they have some of those UConn vibes where UConn just wasn't the best team and then they just didn't lose after going. No, wait, that was the Kemba year was when they didn't lose going from the Big East. The year that they won as the 8th seed, was that right,
They were
Jake?
7 in 2014, a 3 in 2011.
They won as a 7
They won us both.
with Kevin Ollie.
Yeah, that was Shabazz.
Yeah, right. But Oregon State's just getting hot at the right time. The other thing with this bracket, Cuse.
Yeah.
Syracuse.
The
Awesome.
zone. The zone will fuck you over.
Those
The
first
zone-
15 minutes, West Virginia was
Listen,
lost.
everyone's got a plan until they get zoned in the face. You think that you know the zone, and looking at the matchup going into this, it's like Huggy Bear used to coach in the Big East. He's seen the zone a few times, but you think that you know the zone. The zone has a way of sneaking up on you, and you can't. It's funny because I actually think that there's something to, we talk about the lost art of the mid-range jumper and how nobody shoots 15, 16-foot jump shots anymore. Nate Oates has the 1-point line to discourage kids from shooting it. That's actually kind of a weakness in that zone. You get a lot of looks from 15, 16 feet, and the kids don't practice that shot anymore.
Right, it's a tough shot to make.
Yeah, so it's actually kind of worked its way back into fashion, and it's honestly the most perfect invention in the history of college basketball. I can't think of a gimmicky type offense or defense besides maybe the triple option at certain schools that has existed for this long and will always fuck you up even when you know that it's coming for you.
Yeah, the zone. Well, the zone, it's coming, and it still will it hits you like a fucking car.
Yeah, dude. The zone in the first half, there were air balls, there were side of the rim bricks.
West Virginia's passes were to nobody.
Yeah,
Jake didn't even see that.
No, I was watching the game.
Yeah,
Sorry.
the zone it just hits you like a car.
I thought you were talking about Liam.
No, I was talking about Jim Boeheim hitting people with his car.
Yeah.
That
Didn't even
picture-
hear it.
People really do forget
That picture of
Jim
him
Boeheim's in the
handing
Sweet 16.
Tony Stewart a Syracuse Tony Stewart jersey. I couldn't
Unreal.
believe it was
Unreal.
real.
It can't be real.
I think it's real.
It can't be real. All right, Buddy Boeheim is incredible, by the way.
Yes.
Buddy Boeheim is a great reminder why we aren't NBA scouts. I don't want to steal like Gar Forman and John Paxson's territory here, but I always see the best player in the tournament. I'm like, that guy's the best player in the world. Buddy Boeheim would be my number one pick if I were the Houston Rockets.
Dude.
Buddy Boeheim, dude, he can't miss. He scored 25 points. He went 6 for 13 in the last 4 games, which are all like postseason games, ACC tournament and the NCAA tournament. He's shooting 55% from 3. He's 24 for 43. He just doesn't miss. I would use my first pick on him. I'm telling you. He is going to be a 10-time All-Star in the NBA.
Meanwhile, Cade Cunningham can't hit a shot.
Yeah, there you go.
That's right. It's weird. So Buddy Boeheim is the ultimate guy that you post the gif of the guy walking on fire. Anytime Buddy Boeheim makes 2 threes in a row, because the orange pops, the flames work. But your mind, like, you tend to underestimate Buddy Boeheim when you first see him because you just think that he's Brad Calipari.
Yes.
And Brad Calipari, what's his tattoo? Earned?
Not given.
Brad Calipari earned so that Buddy Boeheim could give.
Right.
And Buddy Boeheim is giving big returns. Jake was like, take the over on his 3-pointers, and it was like the easiest bet of all time.
Is his real name Buddy?
I believe so.
I love that.
That's weird.
And his brother is Jimmy. You know what? He plays at Cornell.
Jimmy and Buddy. Oh, sorry, Jimmy. That
What?
sucked. What do you mean, what?
They have the Boeheim Bowl every year. Not this year's.
Buddy Boeheim just
The
took his
Boeheim Bowl,
dad
everyone
to the
knows
Sweet 16.
The Buddy Boeheim
and
Bowl.
Jimmy's season got canceled.
I'm going to go with
getting
Buddy
an
on
Ivy
this
League
one.
education.
Yeah, you're right. That's really going to do great. Buddy Boeheim can fucking... Oh, look at that. The Buddy Bowl. I love it.
Wait, so how does that work, though? Like, in terms of
think-
when Jim was raising both these kids, did he have to stop feeding Buddy so he could recruit them?
Yeah.
Or do we have
I
to
think
report...
so. Buddy Boeheim, like, naming your son Buddy is essentially saying, I want a friend. I have no friends.
Yeah.
It's like, my only friend in life is Coach K.
Yeah. They got Broden Buddy out there this weekend. It's Coach K and then Mike Wilbon for like 2 weeks a year.
Buddy, oh my God, Syracuse fucking grads are so annoying.
What?
We don't give them enough credit.
What did I
we
do?
always go after Northwestern grads,
Yeah.
but Syracuse blue checks are the worst.
There was a big J fight on the streets last night. I think it was Frank Asola was saying, well, Jake, you remember it probably verbatim what he was saying about like.
He's like, when Northwestern not in the tournament, Maryland now has the best journalism school left.
Yeah.
Oh, fighting words.
And at the time, I don't think that Mizzou had been eliminated either.
Oh, it was
wow.
after Mizzou.
Oh, it was right after Mizzou?
okay,
Okay, that makes
okay.
sense.
Speaking
Well,
of,
no, he called this is the real shot that he took. He called Syracuse journalists celebrity broadcasters.
Oh, that's
not real
true.
J.
They're
put
glory boys.
He put a dot above your J.
yeah, they are glory boys. That's true.
Yeah. I also see someone tweeted at us, September 13, 2017, 247 Sports. Coach visit. Jim Boeheim from Syracuse visits Buddy Boeheim.
That's great. Speaking of, we missed the greatest gambling trend of all time this weekend. Are you ready for it?
Uh-huh.
I'm like actually very upset at ourselves.
How many times will they play Thank God I'm a Country Boy?
This is a system that we somehow escaped us, and I'm beating myself up about it. So Cuse beat West Virginia. Shout out Bob Huggins, legend of the game, gets his 900th win on Friday night. Love Huggy Bear.
Yep.
Sucked that they lost. But Pat Forty said, I can't even say this with a straight face.
I saw this.
Not saying this is a causal relationship, but the 3 coaches who seemed the least interested in wearing their masks this season were Brad Underwood, Bob Huggins, and Chris Beard. Gone, gone, gone. So if you don't wear your mask, your team will lose in the tournament.
Jesus Christ! Even
How is that guy's brain like real?
Even if you are
Who
like
tracks that?
Yeah, even if you're the most cautious person in the world when it comes to masks, like Jake is extremely cautious about this.
Yes.
To make the leap that like, wow, was he saying that this is like a judgment that's been cast upon them by karma, or was he
So
saying
by that theory, we
there's
should have won
something-
more on Madness than you should have won your Bitcoin.
Exactly. Yes.
It also is very like, yeah, is there an analytics department? Was Pat Forty just watching every game being like, well, I've tracked it, and Bob Huggins didn't have his mask around his nose for a total of 18 minutes and 23 seconds of game time.
Well, I mean, Nate Oates is a guy that he was criticized this year for being like lax with his mask policies, and last I checked, Alabama's doing pretty good.
Yeah. The other one we had was It's hard to know. This is from Dan Woken. It's hard to know if there's a connection, but Roger Ayers, the ref who tested positive for COVID on Monday, officiated the A-10 title game Sunday between VCU and St. Bonaventure. He also worked Georgia Tech, Miami on Thursday. It's hard to know if there's a connection, but here's my connection that I'm making.
No, it's great.
I'm a scientist.
Whenever you start a takeout with it's hard to know a connection, then you make the connection. At
These
that point,
guys-
like you're arguing against yourself already.
These guys are just waking up being like, okay, how can I figure out a way to weave COVID into my takes at all times today?
Well, I think it's one of these things where a lot of sports journalists like to, at some point they realize that they do not like sports enough to just enjoy sports. And so they have to like branch out to something bigger. They find something bigger that's more meaningful, whether that's like politics or health or whatever expertise that they try to like moonlight as. But it's okay to just like the NCAA tournament
Yes.
and enjoy watching basketball.
Have a good time.
That's okay to do too.
Just hang out and watch some basketball.
Yeah, give your brain a break.
The last game in this bracket, Rutgers, Houston. Rutgers loses a devastating game.
Yeah.
PFT and Jake lost a Bitcoin.
No, it wasn't. That was just PFT.
It's me and Brandon.
Oh, you and Brandon.
But I was going to donate my share of the Bitcoin to
Barstool
TJ.
Fund lost thousands and thousands of dollars from this podcast that we would have donated.
Small businesses lost.
Right, small businesses. So I guess the only spin zone for Rutgers is like you feel something. You feel something.
You won a game.
You won a
game in the tournament. We're not taking that away from you. Like the game against Clemson was electric. They played their guts out against Houston. I hate to use the term, was the moment too big? At the end of the game, the moment might have seemed too big for Rutgers.
And Houston,
I actually don't hate using it. I love using that term. After I said it, I was like, fuck yeah, that sounded like I knew what I was talking about.
Dude, Houston has to be the blandest, least likable team that's good at basketball. Like who likes Houston? Kelvin Sampson's a jerk. Like who likes them?
Is he a jerk?
Well, I mean, hasn't he got like 1 million infractions?
Oh
everywhere?
no.
I mean, what is
he's
it?
got.
I don't
Kelvin
know
Sampson
details.
has recruiting violations.
He's a jerk. No, I think he did. I want to say.
You know what I think
don't
it
know if
was?
he's a Bruce Pearl who
Indiana for 2 years and Oklahoma.
What did he do?
I think he left some recruits in limbo. So I think actually
Jerk.
Slumdog Millionaire moment. I think he had like recruited Scotty Reynolds, Villanova superstar, to go to Oklahoma, and then just like walked out. I might be getting the teams
Eric
wrong.
Gordon.
But he like recruited people, got their commitments, and then just abandoned them.
He's had a bunch of. Either way, whatever. I don't like him, and I don't like Houston. Sorry, Houston. Like who's even a fan of Houston?
I do like their hand signal. So you're right. This is how unlikable Houston is. Their hand sign is the shocker.
Yeah.
It's the two fingers and the one, and they're called the Cougars, and we don't even care enough to make sex jokes about them.
Right, and the Houston is essentially the bad guy villain foe for like the team that you're rooting for in the Disney movie.
Yeah.
They're
city.
the Houston Cougars, and like they have no real personality, and just like they're always good but never really good.
Except in football, where Dana is doing a tremendous job with the program.
Obviously, I totally forgot about
Yes.
that, but yes, we love Dana Holgerson, and that football team is incredible. And fuck,
And
I
their
love
Houston. Their
I
stadiums-
legitimately love Houston.
Football-wise, their stadium's awesome. I went.
That's where PFT tried
Yeah,
out.
I went
Hey,
four.
Hank.
I went 4 for 6 and
That's where
signed at
PFT's
38
dream
yards
went to
there.
die.
Hank, would have been nice if you threw in the fact that Dana was at Houston when I started this
Well,
Houston
no, but everything
rant.
you just said, if they start winning, then they'll be, the bad boys, the big bad powerhouse.
But
Houston,
aren't they like the
villain?
the
Everyone
team,
loves a heel.
Aren't they the team that they're always there and they're good? I'm not saying they're not good. They are a good team. But Rutgers was this plucky underdog. They haven't been in the tournament in like 40 years. They're fucking winning. And then Houston's like, nope, we're just going to take this.
Yeah, so if I'm Houston, you got to realize that you have an image problem. And the best way to solve an image problem is generally through nostalgia. And the best way they can do that is just label their team Phi Slamma Jamma.
Yes.
And just focus on dunking for a year.
Yes.
And that's all it takes. Like, we still call Gulf Coast Dunk City, right?
Yes.
That's still their nickname, and they might not have anyone who can actually touch rim anymore.
But
if they just focus on dunking for 1 year, call themselves Phi Slamma Jamma 2, like the return of the dunk, then from that point on, it's like, oh yeah, Houston, they dunk a lot, and people will love them.
Yes. We need to do a throwback because you're right. Hakeem Olajuwon is a beloved, like everyone loves Hakeem Olajuwon. That guy was incredible. Clyde Drexler, the whole thing. You're right. So go back to that. Like NC State has been living off their title forever.
Yeah.
Do that.
Jim Valvano.
Right, just do that.
Rutgers legend.
Chicago Bears been living off you can just say if our image right now isn't so great, just every month and a half have Jim Belushi do a documentary about your team.
Also, Big J's love to drop to Houston. We have a problem whenever they lose.
That's true.
That's going to be a tough one to shake.
I just don't know. There's something about Houston where I just watch them. I'm like, these guys, because I think it's really the fact that they just don't play.
The AAC is a tough conference.
It's a tough conference,
Memphis,
and they don't
Wichita
play. They just beat the shit out of everyone, but you never know if they're really for real.
You know what
and
it
they
is?
play good defense, and their games are ugly. I don't know. It's just something about Houston.
I think it's the fact that it's a big state school. It's in the fourth biggest city in the United States, but we don't look at it the same way that we look at other big state schools. Like, I look at the University of Wisconsin. I'm like, that's a state school.
Right.
Houston is,
You're right.
They're not even little brother in Texas when you think of, they're a huge campus. They've got, 50,000 people that go to school there. But when I think of Texas, excuse me, that's all
okay.
the acid creeping up on me. I didn't
That's
preach on
okay.
this before the show. I think of, University of Texas. I think of A&M. I think of Baylor before I think of Houston.
Yes.
Even though they're not even a state school. Houston has not done a good job representing themselves as being we're Texas.
Yes. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. And I'm looking at their recent tournament history. This is exactly why. The last 3 years, they went second round, lost to Michigan. I remember that game. They lost by 1 point. They almost won with the buzzer beater.
That was the Houston We Have a Problem game.
Yeah, they went to the Sweet 16, lost to Kentucky, and now they're in the Sweet 16 again. So I always respect them as a good team.
Yep.
But, yeah, I guess they have to go to the Final Four for me to be like, you know what, I don't hate Houston.
Yeah.
They're more just they just snatch other teams' dreams.
I don't hate them. I just wish that they weren't as boring. And, I mean, the fact is they're just a football school with Dana down there.
Dana is just the
Priority.
best.
If Oregon State holds on here, it's an 8, a 12, a 10 in the way of Houston in the Final
Holy
Four.
shit.
Did they even talk about Houston joining the Big 12? Was that ever even a part of the convo back in 2012 or whenever it was?
I'm not sure.
So that's a big misstep right there. At least get your name in the discussion for it.
Yeah. All right, PFT.
Yeah.
We had a few Coors Light this weekend, didn't we?
The mountains were very blue this
We
weekend.
did. Oh, shit. Here
Oklahoma
comes
Most blue
Oklahoma
mountains in
State.
America.
Here
Oklahoma
comes
State.
10
Oklahoma
seconds.
State.
Okay. Hank, you went money line or what'd you do?
I have the over. I have a lot. I need the over.
Okay. I've got the spread, so I think I'm probably still good on that.
I had the over in Oregon State parlayed, Oregon State money line, and then I also bet Oklahoma State money line when they were down at halftime. So
Okay.
if the over doesn't hit, I'm down bad, but we're good.
Yeah, but the mountains were extremely blue this weekend. I love blue mountains. We can't get enough of people tweeting us how blue their mountains are. I've seen the bluest mountains, and I grew up not too far from the Appalachians, which are the Blue Ridge Mountains. These mountains are blue. These mountains are fucking blue when you're drinking a cold Coors Light. We love March Hoops. If there's anything better than March Hoops, it's Coors Light and March Hoops. You've been waiting an entire year for this to come back. You filled this void in all of your time with a bunch of things that brought you no chill, like a bread maker or a fancy exercise bike. Couldn't be me. You've been looking for love in all the wrong places, but now March Hoops are back. And there's nothing more chill than grabbing a cold Coors Light and watching all the games. There's only one beer out there that's literally made to chill. That's Coors Light. The mountains on the bottles and cans, they even turn blue when your beer is cold. That's the best part of it. Honestly, that's the best part. I've been drinking exclusively Coors Light since they came on board as our sponsor. It's my favorite light beer in the world. I think it's Big Cat's favorite light beer in the world, too.
Absolutely.
I know that it's Billy's favorite light beer in the world. Actually, Billy's favorite light beer is whatever he can steal from our office. But Coors Light is delicious. We love it. Coors Light is letting fans trade in the crap that didn't bring them chill for Coors Light. So if you went out, if you're in Las Vegas and Atlanta, you can receive up to 2 cases of Coors Light when you donate the extra stuff that you collected during quarantine based on the weight of those items and beer. My one dumbbell that I bought, that goes up to 75 pounds. Remember that?
Yep.
That's a lot of beer. That's a lot of Coors Light. So if you know somebody who has a ton of stuff piled up that brings no chill to your home, or if you have a big pile of stuff in your office, maybe, I don't know anybody like that sits in this room right now, you can bring it in Las Vegas and Atlanta and get up to 2 cases of Coors Light. Stock up with Coors Light and Coors Seltzer to make sure that you're ready to chill when it's game time, and get them both delivered straight to your door with Drizzly or Instacart. Tweet at us with hashtag Coors PMT Lottery too this March with a picture of your Coors Light or your Coors Seltzer and a lottery ball number for a chance to win a PMT Coors jumpsuit. They're sick jumpsuits. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Manufacturer's rebate. Alcohol purchase required. 21 plus ends 3/27/21. Void where prohibited. Visit bit.ly/CL trade-in rules for details.
Okay. We're going to watch the end of this Oklahoma State game as we go to the next side of the bracket. This is fucking crazy, man. I can't believe
That
we
was
have
6
8
points
games
in 10
tomorrow.
seconds.
I can't believe we have 8 more games tomorrow. I feel so bad if you're an Oregon fan and your game starts at 9:00 on a Monday.
Oh, that's tough. That's
Although maybe
yeah.
that's good.
And they didn't get to watch their team play.
Yeah, they didn't get a chance to. Yeah, that's a good point,
Stinks.
Jake. Good point.
Feel for
The one
VCU.
thing I've learned this weekend watching so much basketball with Jake Marsh is I can't watch sports with Jake Marsh.
Jake is pure. He's a pure guy. You know what? I actually discovered a different side of Jake this weekend because we were teamed up in the gambling contest. I spent a lot of time with him. Jake's not a gambler, but he was this weekend. He becomes a very negative, aggressive person when watching games that he's betting. Like the
doesn't?
dog comes out.
No,
Jake Dog comes
okay.
out. Oh, yeah. Yes, you do. Like, anytime something is like 50-50, Jake's like, we're fucked. It's over. Like, he closes his computer. He's like, we're fucked. We're fucked.
I
Here's the
like
thing.
That's
that
not
side of
relatable.
you.
What isn't? Yeah.
There was 10K on the line.
Yeah, no,
so,
well, we were going to donate some of it.
okay, yeah,
It's
it's still
5K for you,
10K.
yeah.
It's 4K.
Okay.
Okay.
Thousands
but
of dollars I could've won.
your positivity, which is
And
pure,
donated.
and I love it. Like, I genuinely love it because
Yeah.
it's very rare. We live in a very narcissistic, or not narcissistic.
Yes, that
What was I
too.
going to say?
Pessimistic.
Pessimistic. There it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Thank
Cynical.
you.
Altruistic.
Cynical. That's what I was going for. Cynical and pessimistic society. And Jake is pure and enjoys sports and loves March Madness. But when Wisconsin's getting like their Baylor's nuts dragged in their face with alley-oops and dunks and they're down 12 and I hear from the back row, that's all right, big cat, just need a little run. I'm just like, shut the fuck up, Jake. Like, let me die in peace.
Well, he
dude.
was also thinking of the spread when he said that to you. Yeah. He was like, oh, yeah, Big Cat doesn't have +8. He actually wants his team to advance.
Either way, I love you, Jake, and I can watch sports with you. I love your love for March Madness.
But it is right. They get to watch their team compete in Oregon. They didn't get to do that.
Yeah.
They didn't play against VCU, who I guess they advanced. VCU advances to play against Ian Book and Jack Cohn in the COVID region of Billy's bracket.
Yes. All right, let's go to that bracket. So that we'll start with that. Oregon advances. They're playing Iowa. I'm gonna say something nice about Iowa. Iowa is fucking good. Okay, Iowa fans, they are. I'm ready to admit it. They're fucking good. They are. I still don't like Luka Garza, but I think Iowa is gonna beat Oregon.
Is that just because you think that Iowa's turbo Wisconsin?
No, it's because we don't got a lot left in the Big Ten, buddy.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, you root for an entire division? That's weird.
Oh yeah, I saw some people
do that?
tweeting me and being like, I was like, dude, you don't understand the difference between college or college sports and NFL.
What is the difference?
The fact that you get money, like if you get bowl games, you get
Oh,
money.
you personally get money?
No, the schools do.
Okay.
The schools get money.
Yeah.
So the success of the conference actually matters for that. You get, the benefit of the doubt when doing the seeding, when doing March Madness, when doing bowl games, when doing college football playoffs, when that gets money. All that matters.
So you actually take that seriously?
No, I hate I actually will say I hate Iowa and I hate Ohio State and I hate all these schools. You won't actually say you hate the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys.
It's funny that we're actually having this conversation because I think that our relationship with the divisions is exactly the same.
I don't think it's even remotely the same.
I think it's exactly the same.
The Dallas Cowboys' success
Now that you're saying it
doesn't
out
help
loud,
you at all.
No, you're right. It doesn't help me at all. But
Iowa's success does
only-
help Wisconsin when it comes to if they get better bowl
But
games.
you would still rather have them lose.
No, I would. I'm sick of everyone saying the Big Ten sucks. Like
That's
no.
exactly me.
No, it's not.
To a T
What?
with the NFC
For
Beast
1 year?
Yeah, well, it's
You're
been,
right, 1
so
year.
I've been saying this for a few years because the best part about the NFC East is you get
What?
You get
You haven't been. No, here's what happened. You
Old
hated
NFC
the
East
Giants.
fans are like
You hated the Giants this year under the radar. I kept on saying the Giants were an average team. You would say, no, they're not. and Giants fans came at you, and you're like, all right, I'll just start rooting for the entire NFC East.
No, that's not at all what happened.
That's what happened.
No,
We can go back and
no,
actually
no,
trace
no. Because the best thing that you could say back in the day was, like, in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, was, the NFC Beast. We used to beat each other up back in the day. We had that run from 1986 through 1995. It's all like pointing back to that era, the golden era of the NFC Beast. So it's always like on the horizon of like, this is our resurgence as a division. That's what I tap into when I tap into the NFC Beast fandom.
But you do understand how different it is for college sports when it comes to like everything.
I know that I do understand that
conference
there's a tangible
mattering.
tangible bonus
Benefit, right.
that you get from it. But I still think that you would rather see a Big Ten team lose.
Iowa, like their arrival in football, like Ohio State, I laughed. I thought that was hilarious. I wasn't like rooting for Ohio State against Oral Roberts. I don't give a fuck. I do think that like it would be nice if the Big Ten could win a national title once in a while, so that everyone's like, you suck it. You don't, like they then just, it's a trickle down effect with the entire conference.
So I will lessen my fraud label on Iowa, but it's only in the interest of potentially getting a retweet from George Kittle at some point.
I'm just saying this because it will be hilarious if I say all this nice stuff about Iowa, and by the time this podcast comes out, they've lost.
Yeah.
This is a strategic play on my part.
So Iowa, it was a 2-15, so I don't know what you can take away from that. I thought that Luka looked nice. He didn't look as sweaty and slippery, and like, what's the word I'm looking for, with a pale, smooth-skinned, slippery individual who's kind of big and hairy.
Yeah.
There's a word out there, a lummox.
Well, he is
a galoot.
Luka is, like, Luka's size, if we were 300 years ago, he would be the most famous person in this, like, in a 1,000-mile radius of where he was born.
Have you heard of Luka?
Yeah, have you heard of the man who can throw rocks over his head?
Yeah, well, he's 10 feet tall and can shoot fireballs out of his arm.
He is.
He would be the king of Iowa.
Yes, he would.
He would be Mr. Corn.
He would.
I thought that they played a perfectly nice brand of basketball.
No, I'm literally just saying this just so that if they lose, it would be funny and be like, oh, I said something nice about Iowa. All right, so Oregon's going to play them. Gonzaga, they're just really, really good, and they're going to probably cakewalk to the Final Four. Ohio is the story of the tournament. I know that Jake will have this on his one shining moment. But Ohio has Jason Preston, who, if you've been watching college basketball, you know who he is. They beat Illinois in November, kind of shocked them in Champaign. But he is the story of the tournament because he's a former blogger turned college basketball player turned possible NBA player. And his story is awesome because he went from high school, averaged 2 points a game.
Skip Bayless.
So went to UCF, grew 4 inches as a freshman, went back to like a prep school.
Wait, he went back to high school?
Yes.
Like never been kissed?
Yes. Was awesome there.
Never been recruited. This is a fucking teen movie.
Made a mixtape for himself that Bo Ryan's son, Will, who was on the Ohio coaching staff, saw. They recruited him, and now he just upset Virginia, the reigning national champs, and he's got awesome hair. He's really good at basketball. He used to be a Pistons blogger. He's the story of the tournament. He's the one that if Ohio can win tomorrow against Creighton, there will be so many stories written about him.
That's my guy now.
Yes. Jason Preston, he's awesome.
So I hadn't heard all these stories about him. The most impressive thing that you said right there to me was the fact that he was a Pistons blogger.
Yes.
So like a Pistons blogger in high school for like the last 5 years, you didn't really have that much to write about. The fact that you were dedicated to writing about those Pistons tells me that you are open invite. I want to hire this guy. And if you don't make it to the NBA,
yes,
I want to hire him, but just as a Pistons blogger.
And he's got also the sentimental. He's from Orlando. His mom was a big Pistons fan. They bonded over it. His mom tragically passed away, I think, from cancer when he was 16. So I'm telling you, if they make it to the next Sweet 16, Jim Nantz is going to like just be openly sobbing with the story that he's going to be telling about this kid on our screen. He is going to be a darling of March that the whole world talks about.
What year is he?
He's a junior.
He's so not eligible for the tie.
Not eligible for the tie.
But he's a blogger, so
technically.
he probably wouldn't accept the tie anyways.
Right.
Not part of the outfit. But
Well,
yeah,
they'd have to win the national title
Yeah,
for him
and
to
they
be
also have
eligible.
Gonzaga if they win tomorrow.
Well, you saying Gonzaga's good?
A little bit.
I'm now rooting for Ohio.
He's awesome. He's an awesome player. Ohio was just better than Virginia was up for a while, but they went to their classic Virginia. We're just not going to score for forever. By the way, Oregon State has won. Oregon State's the hottest team in the country.
Let's go.
They're incredible. The Beavers. Shout out the Beavers.
Beavers.
An 8, a 12, an 11, and a 2
Wait,
in that region.
Wow.
just looking real quick here. What are
Crazy.
we'd have to get to the Final Four to get a Beaver oral matchup?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just
It's
gonna
a
put that-
long way away.
Put that in my French
It's a long
tickler
way
file.
away. But either way, yeah, Jason Preston tomorrow. And also they call him poor man's LaMelo because he got the same hair.
Okay.
But LaMelo got hurt, so maybe he's a rich man's LaMelo. LaMelo's
Also,
out for the rest of the season, which sucks.
LaMelo is rich, so like 99.999% of people could be a poor man's LaMelo.
True. So yeah, he is the guy that everyone should root for. He's the guy that's going to get talked about. The guys that almost became the darlings of March Madness were the Groves brothers from Eastern Washington that had Kansas on the ropes in the first half. One of them looks like a lumberjack. The other looks like Bob Dylan.
No, they were straight up. It was Superbad.
Yeah.
It was the cover of Superbad. If Teen Wolf meets Superbad, that's what you get with the Groves brothers. I was rooting hard for them. I always like a good brothers team,
Yes.
and
No,
you get lots of brothers teams in March Madness.
it also, like, I know that they're just brothers, but you got to just go by twins.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's way better to be the Grove twins than the Groves brothers.
I was disappointed when I heard that they were. I assumed they were twins.
Yeah, just say you're twins.
And then when they're like, no, they're just brothers. Even if they're like, just lie and say Irish twins. They probably are Irish twins, like born 8 months apart.
Yeah. And like it's like it's the Martin brothers in Nevada, shout out Must Bus. They were actually twins, but that just made them that much better. Caleb and Cody Martin,
The
like
Morris twins.
yeah, you just got to be twins.
I just like the idea.
Arnold Schwarzenegger and
Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito.
Yeah, I like the idea of twins like changing out if one twin sucks. And then, or one twin gets in foul trouble, the good twin does, and then they just switch jerseys at halftime real quick.
Yeah.
And then they come out, it's like, wow, the bad twin got good all of a sudden.
Yeah.
We're going to bench this guy for the rest of the game.
Buddy and Jimmy.
Yep.
Boeheim, the twins. But yeah, they were you need to win a game to be a true March Madness story, and they were that close.
Yeah, well, they are definitely going to be in Jake's list of one shining moments.
Our guy Rico Bosco said that he watched Bill Self do a beeline to Tanner Groves, the better of the twins, who I think is a senior at Eastern Washington, potential grad transfer to Kansas next year. So that would be incredible. And
Good eyes,
he was
Rico.
a big guy, hairy big guy who could shoot the three. Like there are certain March guys. Jason Preston is one of them. Like they're just March Madness stories.
Yeah.
That you just love, and you just see them on the screen. You're like, oh, that's a March Madness story.
Yeah, I miss those guys. I miss like all the storylines, all the weird shit that comes out. This guy, you know what they should do? There should be a tournament every year for teams that are eliminated where you take the best guys from all the teams that just got bounced and you let them play in one final game, like an all-star game.
Yeah.
They do have a 3v3 at the Final Four. They can start winning money for the seniors.
Yeah, Mark Titus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that. So they would the twins would definitely be on my list. Who else would be? There was one other big.
Well, Cameron
There was one
Krutwig, obviously.
Yeah, but he's still around.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who else?
We'll update
Who else you got?
we'll update the list as we go.
Okay. Give me another name.
Another name that would be on there. Who got bounced?
UCSB had some guys. The Gauchos are just cool.
Yeah.
They're just
That
a
was-
cool
that
name.
was tough.
Yeah.
They have
They-
J-Rock McLaughlin.
And Grand Canyon, the Antelopes.
J-Rock?
That's what they
J-Rock.
call him, yeah.
There was a guy in
Corey.
Cleveland State, I think, that cried like a lot.
Just kids.
Yeah, just kids. If you're the biggest crier, the one who's like the
Oh.
most upset after a loss, I want that guy to get another shot. I don't want that to be the last time he sees a basketball court.
I remember that because there was also a guy in Texas Southern who was crying a lot. And again, they're just kids, so I'm not going to say anything bad, but they're just kids. But like, if you're a 16 seed, did you really think you were going to win?
Yeah, but it's you see in their face and in their emotions like the realization that this might be the last time
They were down 20.
I put on this shirt.
Well, no, because it's the COVID year,
That's true.
so they can all keep playing.
Yeah, but I think the biggest crier should get a spot.
Yes.
Should be a crier spot.
Yes. All right. Before we get to the last part of the bracket, PFT Roman.
Yeah, Roman Swipes. Roman Swipes is a wonderful product. Hank is a big believer in the Swipes technology. Most guys out there have tried ways to last longer. Thinking about baseball doesn't always work. The folks over at Roman, an online men's health company, are changing the game with Roman Swipes, the secret to longer lasting sex. You think that if you were trying to last longer and you just went through your head of trying to name every single team in the round of 64 in order in the bracket, I feel like that might work too.
Or Cameron Krutwig's post moves.
Yeah, or it's just Sister Jean.
Yeah.
All these things could work, but you know what works even better is Roman Swipes. Roman Swipes is a clinically proven way to last longer in bed. They're effective, they're easy to use, they're fast acting, but they don't require a prescription. Roman can ship swipes to you in discreet, unmarked packaging, and each Swipes packet is small enough to hide in your wallet for whenever you need it. They're super easy to use. You just take the swipes out of the packet, you swipe it on, let it dry, you're good to go. That's it. Go to GetRoman.com/take. You can get your first month of swipes for just $5 when you choose a monthly plan. That's GetRoman.com/take.
All right, Oregon State advances, hottest team in the world. What a fucking tournament. What chaos.
It's the best.
I'm happy because I got fucked by Oregon State like last Friday in the Pac-12 tournament, and it's a dangerous thing because you can go spite or you can be like, hey, you know what? Let's just roll with them. I thankfully have gone, let's just roll with them, and I bet on them the last 3 games, and it's been awesome.
If you can't beat them, join them.
Yeah, you have to make that decision very quickly. Like, are you going to have some fun and just fucking roll with it, or are you going to be like, fuck them, I'm going to keep fading them till they lose?
You know what? I was just thinking one other kind of bonus about this March Madness, and don't get me wrong, I don't like the setup. I like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday for the first round.
Agreed.
My body is all screwed up. Monday's going to suck for you if you have like a 9-to-5 job. It's going to be awful. It's going to be bad for me too because I'm going to be flying. But this whole weekend with the game on Monday, it's like daylight savings time took on an entire day.
Right.
It like pushed my entire week back 24 hours.
Right, and I still watched all the Thursday games, so it felt like
Yes.
Thursday had 7 or
They're all
8
tight
hours of
games,
basketball.
too.
Right.
Even a 16 seed. game.
Great, great job by the NCAA scheduling 2 blue bloods playing. That actually made everybody want to watch all the games on Thursday night because having UCLA and Michigan State go up against each other, it was like it felt like a tournament game at that point. So it felt like a tournament day. My prediction is the NCAA is going to think about doing something similar to that next year. I don't know if it's going to be like the entire schedule's thrown off again, but they'll definitely have like the 2 biggest names that are there might be some monkey business when it comes to the last 4 in where they don't invite teams with like smaller alumni bases. They just get 2 bona fide like giant state schools to square off in that first game for ratings.
Right. So, and also shout out Tom Izzo for getting angry.
Tom Izzo, listen, Tom Izzo, I'm going to put all of my Curry ball complaints on Tom Izzo. I'm going to call it Izzo ball. The end of that game was case in point. Players don't drive to the bucket anymore.
Yes.
In the last 10 seconds of the game.
Well, that's a perfect segue to Abilene Christian
Yes.
in the East, driving to the bucket, getting a completely fucked up phantom call that was not a foul, but that's the point, that if you go to the bucket, sometimes things can happen. That game was, to say it was a rock fight is like is actually really offensive to rock fights, because there was a moment where it's the end of Saturday night and Texas has 23 turnovers, and the refs had to stop the game for like the 4th time in 3 minutes because someone was gushing blood, and you're like, what is going on here? And Abilene Christian's coach has a fucking clear herpy on alleged herpy cold sore, where like,
a
dude,
double lipper. It was on top and bottom.
literally, this is the greatest year to have a herpy outbreak during the tournament. Just keep your goddamn mask on.
That's what I was saying. Pat Forty should have tweeted about that guy instead of everybody else. Like,
I couldn't believe it.
That guy hates wearing masks so much that he won't even cover up a herp, a double herp. And so He also looked a lot like Will Muschamp, by the way.
Yeah.
Which was pretty funny to see
Yes, it
him
was.
like getting sweaty and screaming at Texas, because it might have just been Will Muschamp.
Yes.
We don't know. But at the end of that game, there was I think they had to take a double timeout
Yes.
towards the end because
It's blood sport.
there's too much blood. The floor was bleeding.
Yes.
Like it was like you were watching the game in a haunted house that you were staying at and like house sitting for a weekend. The floor was it was oozing blood up from the ground. It was a crazy end of the game. They took the ball to the hole. A guy who was a 56% foul shooter.
Yep.
Goes to
Makes
the line.
both.
Makes both of them. That's the most clutch foul shots that I've seen in a long time in college
Incredible. The game was just, it was terrible but great, and it was March in when people say how can you watch college basketball, it's not like even close to the NBA product. Like, no duh. The NBA is incredible. The shot we had our guy Blake Griffin who dunked, no big deal. Up in one corner watching the Nets game, and if you just glanced up there and you saw like any open shot just be a perfect swish, you're like, whoa, what sport is that?
Yeah.
That's not what we're watching.
Yep.
We're just bricks. But it's the drama, and it's the fact that this game sucked, but it was incredible. But shout out to that coach. So Joe Golding, I saw this tweet from Chris Vanini. He said, Abilene Christian joined Division I basketball in 2014. Since then, their Ken Palm rankings, 348, 342, 317, 298, 262, 152, 184, and now 80. So it's literally, you can watch him build this program until this point where they beat an in-state team, Shaka Smart. This was like the resurgence year for Shaka Smart, who
saved his job.
You have to shave your head again, dude.
Yeah.
The fact that you
It's
shaved
jarring.
your head and you had that hair is still, like, bald people everywhere hate Shaka Smart.
It's jarring looking at
Yes.
him. It's very strange. I mean, the nice thing, I always compare him to Rick Barnes. And Shaka Smart's performance, at least, wasn't as bad as the University of Tennessee's. So I still think I'm going to chalk this. This year goes to Shaka Smart.
Yes. Texas, I mean, turning the ball over 23 times is impressive. Mm-hmm. That's impressive. Like, that's really, really hard to do.
And then the horns down at the end.
Oh, can't have the horns down.
I love the horns down.
Texas is back. All right, other parts of this bracket. Turns out what I said last week about everyone talking about how the Georgetown was incredible and Patrick Ewing and the Big East tournament. Turns out maybe not so much. So because Colorado just torched them.
Yeah.
And Hank got in my own head and just walked around saying you got to respect the Big East. And I asked him to name the teams in the Big East. He got 6.
7.
Yeah.
6.
He's like Louisville, Syracuse, UConn.
South Florida.
Yeah. So the
He
Big
got
East,
in my head.
I don't want to say I told you so about Georgetown, but I told you exactly so when we interviewed Stanford Steve. This was it to a T. And I feel bad rooting against Georgetown because I like Georgetown. I want to root for Georgetown. I want to be like, this is the return of old school, punch you in the face, no blood, no foul basketball. I want to root for him. I like Patrick Ewing. I think he's a nice guy. I think he's obviously like a living legend. He's probably doing good stuff at Georgetown. But it was all the warning signs were blinking bright red, saying this is not the team that you want to bet on in the first round.
I said it on Sunday night. Like, they beat. It's great they won the Big East, but the Big East was not the Big East this year with some of the problems. Nova getting all the injuries, the P-bomb from Doug McDermott. Like, the other team, Marquette wasn't good. Seton Hall was a disappointment. LSU, St. Bonaventures was another. That was the Winthrop effect, where everyone was like, St. Bonnie's, they're good, they're awesome.
It's a fun one to abbreviate.
Right.
So a lot of people like to talk about the mid-majors that they can toss like a little, I know a fun fact about them. You can call them the Bonnies. And LSU was dominant.
It was, so I felt like a fool for that one.
Will Wade, baby.
Michigan LSU is going to be a great game. And then the bottom of the bracket, shout out Maryland. Never really close with UConn. Well, UConn was in my Final Four. Whoops. Yeah. I had. See, the best was I love when people try to like dunk on us for our opinions, not realizing like, dude, we give opinions basically constantly.
Yeah. And
two,
also you're probably smarter than us.
Yeah.
If you're hearing my voice right now.
Yeah, we're idiots. 3, we're 95% of the time joking. and 4 were like C2, we're idiots. So there was a tweet. I don't know if it was the Maryland.
Except for Jake.
Yeah, except for Jake. For the Maryland account and Billy. The Maryland account, I don't think it was the Maryland account, but it was someone made a list of everyone who picked UConn, and it said sports media experts, and I was at the top of the list. I'm like, I'm an expert?
They did me for Creighton, too, because I wanted UC Santa Barbara.
We're experts?
I guess.
I am not.
Everyone's
Listen,
an
if I were an
expert,
expert, I'd have a lot more money in my gambling account right now.
Yeah, so we are not experts, despite how, I guess, impressive we might sound and knowledgeable we might sound. We're absolutely not that. I think that Maryland, it's either an iron sharpens iron situation, or Maryland recruited UMBC's social media person, because Maryland's Twitter account, it's been pretty good recently.
Yeah, no,
It's
it
been
has.
like they've been tweeting the Where's Duke stuff. They put up a fire meme where it was the tortoise as the stunk guy and it said Torps on it. That made me laugh. This
That
is
is
stuff,
funny.
This is stuff that the University of Maryland would not have done were it not for the UMBC upset of UVA a couple years ago, where their neighbor absolutely posterized all of Twitter for a solid 3 hours.
Right, exactly. It's Maryland. Shout out Maryland. I don't want to be on the bad side of Maryland. I don't want Scott Van Pelt to just hate us because he's very passionate.
What
about
time's
his
their
team.
game tomorrow?
What time is their game, Jake?
Stand by. It's not early because
So they're
Iowa's first.
Yeah,
and
they're playing
Gonzaga's
Alabama.
second.
So Big Cat, make sure to FaceTime Stanford Steve
Yes,
tomorrow.
during the game. So they are
7:45 Central,
7:45
8:45 Eastern.
Okay, so they're playing Alabama tomorrow. Alabama beat Iona.
Yep, sure
Rick
did.
Pitino.
Rick Pitino got bounced.
You want me to read the text messages I got?
I'm not
after
going to
the
make
game?
a 15-second joke.
You want me to read the text messages I got after the game from my stalker? Dan Katz, I am a close to Coach Rick Pitino, and even closer to Richard Pitino. We understand you have shown a level of respect for Coach Rick, and that is appreciated. I've shown a great level of respect for Coach Rick Pitino. I think he did a great job with Iona this year. He's a legend of the game, Hall of Famer.
52-day layoff, and they made the
52-day layoff.
Yeah.
Unbelievable story. So he said, let me just go back because I just threw in a lot of stuff. We understand you have shown a level of respect for Coach Rick, and that is appreciated. We also know your piece of shit sidekick is still defaming Coach. Iona was a great success, and we will show your sidekick some manners one way or another.
What? I'll take the one way. I don't want the other. Whatever the other way is doesn't sound like it's for me.
And I just wrote back, and I said, here's his address.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. So, all right, I respect what Rick Pitino's done. I absolutely do.
I've transferred my stalker to you.
Listen, I've always respected Coach Pitino.
He's a Hall of Famer, PFT.
The championship that they won at Louisville should count. That banner should be up. I've always said that. I think he's a great coach. What he did over in Greece was
Incredible.
wonderful. Just like the ability to go over there and transform a foreign program like that in a country that you don't have any experience in. He's a legend. It's the stuff legends are made of. And then he comes back here, takes Iona, guides them through a COVID year where you talk about adversity and a tumultuous season. Iona probably had it worse than anybody, and they needed the steady, guiding, slippery hand of Rick Pitino to guide them through this COVID year and put them into this matchup. And it's unfortunate that they got bounced in the first round. But I think I like what he's doing at the program, Big Cat. And it'll be interesting to see how long he lasts at Iona.
See,
No,
this is
I'm serious.
No, it's fine. It's
Do you
fine.
think that he's going to go to a different
it's fine.
program?
It's on you now. It's not me. It's on you. It's on you. I've shown respect for Coach Rick.
I said a lot of nice things about Coach
Sure.
Pitino.
Sure you did.
That was
You said a lot of nice things.
It actually wasn't me that said all those things in the past. It was Billy.
Billy.
It was Billy.
It was Billy.
So Billy
We should actually frame Billy.
Yeah, Billy said all those things that you think that I said.
Let's
it was a little joke that we had for a while.
Let's see how drunk Billy is right now. Billy texted
Remember,
us.
it's almost 1 a.m. back home.
Oh, I'm sorry. Should I not call Billy?
No, I'm just.
He's probably studying now, Big Cat.
He texted us at 4:00 this afternoon. He's like, "Hey, do you guys need me to hop on Zoom for the show tonight?" Which was translation, "Hey, can I get fucking drunk as shit and play Warzone?" Yes, Billy, you can. Let's see. Do you think he picks up?
No.
Nope.
I think he's going to. What is he? He's not going to go to sleep at 1 in the morning.
If he's smart, he wouldn't pick. I wouldn't pick up.
It's 12:30.
I would not pick up this call. I would say that I went to bed.
Yeah.
Because you.
Oh,
He
ignored you.
he hit the ignore.
Yep, he's
that
playing
was
Warzone.
like 3 rings. No, I think he's yugging. I think
he's mid-young.
Did you see his tweet earlier today?
What did he say?
Where he put up a tweet saying like, should I stay at college? Yes or no? And one of them was like, the mountains are blue. So, yeah, he's definitely
he's yugging.
He's
There's
definitely
a poll that said, please help consult. Option 1 was drive home and get good sleep. And the second one was you only get college once with a mountain emoji, the letter R, and then a blue square.
So Billy, just some advice in the future. You don't have to put up a poll. You can just get drunk. You don't
I
have
actually
to.
think he would say that to us. I actually think he was smart. I respect all these moves Billy's made because I think if we called him and be like, no, well, I asked Twitter what I should do and they told me to stay, so I had to.
Yeah, it's true. The people decide.
So it's your fault.
He's the people's champ.
It's the listener's fault that Billy's drunk tonight.
Yes.
But I'll be serious about Rick Pitino. I think that he's a very good coach, and I think that he's done a good job at Iona. I hope that he stays there. I like having Rick Pitino on Long Island. I hope he builds into a big program.
Is it Long Island?
I think so.
It's
New
Westchester.
Rochelle.
Westchester.
New Rochelle.
I can't keep
Close
track
enough.
of all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Close enough.
But I like what he's done, and I hope he sticks around. And I actually enjoy college basketball is a better place when Rick Pitino's on the sidelines.
Yes, agreed. All right, let's do who's. Oh wait, do you have Hep Cronin in your one shining moments?
I do not.
Wow.
Well, they could have made it. They still have one extra game, but no.
Well,
I didn't
UCLA, Mick Cronin's dad. They hadn't
Hep.
seen each other in
Yeah.
like a year.
know. That was a nice moment after
and
the game. He
that's a
came
big
down.
story.
Yeah.
I love that.
They're like NCAA tournament. It's so funny where it's like we're watching these kids play, and like half the screen time is just to the coach's dad.
Hank's just watching like gang fights over here. What are you watching, Hank?
Spring break is back.
Hank's-
Really?
This
All right,
is-
wait, hold on. Let's do who's back of the week. And then
I have my list.
I know
too.
we'll finish up
Okay.
with your list. We'll finish with your list. But before we get to who's back of the week, who's back of the week is the Cash App. The Cash App is back. The stock market, investing
Your
through the
hometown.
Cash App, buy and sell Bitcoin on the Cash App. And, of course, when you download the Cash App and enter the referral code Barstool, you receive $10 for free, $10 for free, and $10 goes to ASPCA. The Cash App is officially back. It is totally back. Download the Cash App from the App Store or Google Play Store today. The Cash App, Cash App, Cash App. Thank you to the Cash App. Go download it and buy some Bitcoin. Hank, why don't you start? So spring break is back because you're watching just people kick the shit out of each other.
Yeah,
Wait,
this
I
is-
want to see this.
This
Is
fight's
there
been
any
going on
pukes?
for like 3 minutes, and it's just as violent as it was when it started.
Let me see.
I'm
This-
gonna
this-
text you
I want
right
to
now.
see it. I want to see this fight.
This looks like a Royal Rumble.
I
Straight
love-
up. Just
I
like
love
people keep
these
sprinting in.
Puke
1 hour ago
videos
too,
and
so
fights.
it's literally from tonight. It's absolutely absolutely. I'm my New Year's resolution is stop saying electric.
This
Absolutely
is not
crazy.
a representation of
New Year's resolution.
the area.
Spring.
Yeah.
Holy shit, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Is there titties?
Oh, yeah.
There's
yeah.
always-
No,
there's
I've
always
already
boobs.
seen 3 tits. Oh my god, dude. You know what always amazes me with these type of videos is like the presence of mind for the cameraman to just get all the action.
Yeah, they're right
He's
in.
doing a
This
great
really is a
job.
Royal
Wait,
Rumble.
was there a dog in there?
The
No, was
tweet
that-
is the tweet is from @TJ1K. Miami is nuts right now, bruh. Cry emoji. If you want to go look.
Oh, more titties. Just got more.
There were some good St.
His
Patrick's
wig's
Day
falling
ones
off.
too. Yeah, St. Patrick's Day one. There was one where this girl just had her left boob hanging out the entire time in the fight, and then she adjusted it, and 1 second later, her right boob popped out.
It happens.
You
It's
can't
counterweight.
You can't
yeah.
script that.
That was an incredible fight.
And there was
Oh
the
my
vi-
god, someone just ended up fully on naked.
There was
No,
also
at
the
the end.
video. Did you see the spring break video? The kid escaping the cop car and everyone just starts running with him.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing video. Spring break's back. My other who's back was Kylie Jenner. Everyone's favorite Kardashian was in the news. Her personal hairstylist had to get brain surgery, needed like $60,000, and Kylie Jenner, the billionaire, was nice enough to post on her story the GoFundMe for her personal hairstylist $60,000 surgery, and she herself donated $5K. So
Whoa.
That's great. Good for her.
You know what?
we
If
would've-
had-
yeah.
if Rutgers had hit, we would have
We would've
donated
done it.
at least
We would've matched-
$2,000.
I would have personally matched Kylie Jenner's
Same,
$5,000.
same.
And I think that Kylie can probably make the case that the exposure that she gave the GoFundMe via a retweet was probably worth what $200,000. Is that kind of the going rate for her? So really, her hairstylist owes her what would that be? $140,000. So she should expect an invoice for that.
yeah, so she's just she's trending for all the right reasons.
By the way, the The schedule is
watching this
out
video on loop.
for next Saturday. You have the Syracuse games at 10 o'clock. That's
Perfect because that's when they beat Gonzaga in 2016 Sweet
Oh,
16.
okay, there you go.
Yeah.
But either way,
So history's on our side.
the guy David Warlock.
Yeah,
who-
he's great.
He is great.
Yeah.
His name's
I
Warlock.
follow him year round.
He
yeah.
said they define an
No
upset
big
as a
deal.
team seated 5 spots or more lower than their opponent. This year's already set the record with 11 such occurrences, and we're midway through the second round.
Jake, I want to back up real quick. You said you follow him year round. Does that
Yeah,
does that
I guess.
imply that there
No,
are
but okay.
people that you don't like?
Oh, I do
you
that. No,
unfollow and
unfollow.
follow
Yeah.
seasonally?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
I do that with some people too.
Oh, yeah.
So what's that schedule like? I've never heard of that before. It's
So,
never
like,
occurred to me.
Chris
Tiger
Harrison.
Tracker. I don't want to
Yeah.
hear Tiger Tracker's opinions on
Like, I'll
the
mute-
world.
Oh, I
on
do.
you, the Brook-
That's when you
No.
get the real shit.
Fuck
It's like
that guy.
when
Yeah.
people are bored
Or
out
girl.
of season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
No.
I unfollow
It's a thing.
seasonally.
I mean, Tiger Tracker's definitely a guy.
Well, it's
Right.
actually multiple.
But in the middle of
You didn't read
September,
that
when
article?
it's like the
I think it's
something
multiple
open.
people.
Shut up.
Yeah.
What are they doing now?
I don't know. I don't follow him.
Tiger's at home.
Tiger's in the hospital.
I think he's at home now.
Shout out Tiger.
Shut up.
Shout out. Just big ups, Tiger.
Respect.
Just we haven't said that in a while, so big ups, Tiger. Hope he's doing okay.
Should have wore red today.
Fuck. Next Sunday, remind me.
We should do that.
Every Sunday
Until
he
Tiger-
plays,
until
until
he
he plays
plays.
again. Every Sunday we're gonna wear red. All right, PFT, who's back?
My who's back of the week is going to be drugs.
Oh, not a drug guy.
Not a drug guy. Well, come get your man's Big Cat.
Yeah.
Because the Chicago Cubs have a prospect.
Oh, I saw that.
His name's Jesus, probably Jesus. Jesus Carmago was arrested after police found 21 pounds of meth in his team equipment bag. And so I guess he's been on the team since 2015. So it's not like a new guy. 21 pounds of meth is Walter White levels of
lot.
meth. Like 21 pounds. I don't think that my bag, if you like put your bag on that thing at the airport where they weigh it, I guess it's called a scale. I don't think my bag usually
Well, you have
tops
a
20
baby
pounds.
bag.
I do have. I don't check that one, Big Cat. That's a tiny bag. But you know what I'm saying?
How'd you get that bag? Did you sell like wrapping paper door to door, and then you got that as a prize?
That's a funny joke.
I mean, it's not a joke.
So I had shoulder surgery for my torn labrum.
Okay.
When I was playing rugby, I was in the Division III state championship.
Okay.
When I was in Texas,
You win?
and I started. They took me out of the game. We
You
were
would have
winning.
said if he would've said
No, we were
if they
winning.
won.
We came in second place. They took me out of the
Out of
game.
2.
We were winning. Anyways, regardless, I had shoulder surgery.
Okay.
And my mom was like, "You need a bag that you're going to be traveling a little bit. You need a bag that you can put up on the airplane into the overhead compartment
So she bought you a cooler?
as you're rehabbing from your shoulder surgery when I couldn't lift my arm up." And so then that was the bag that I carried.
Got it.
Yeah, and I still carry it for some reason.
It's like when I saw Ken Rosenthal on the plane, and he to put the bag up, he hopped up on the seat, and I was like,
Yeah, that's
dude,
tough.
like I don't want to make fun of that,
Yeah.
but
It's funny.
I was like, holy shit.
You got to know. Yeah.
Like, man, I just stow it in the front or
Yeah.
check it.
I
don't
would just buy clothes when I got there rather than do that. Not me
did it
though.
so
I
quickly.
can straight up
Dude.
dunk. I can dunk my suitcase into that overhead.
He did it so quickly. It's clearly something he's good at.
Yeah.
It was like one motion. Whoop.
But regardless, what I'm saying is like when you fly with a bag and you put on most bags don't weigh more than 20 pounds, even if you're traveling like for a weekend.
Uh-huh.
That's a significant amount of meth. So I don't know if the Cubs have.
Yeah,
if
it's a lot.
is the Chicago Cubs, are they
Yeah.
a front for the cartels? Is this something that's an organizational thing where he
Dude,
was assigned to do that?
I wouldn't put it past Ricketts to make money any which way.
Maybe
Like
that's why
that guy
Theo,
will find a way to make money.
That's why Theo left.
Yeah,
he found out about it.
He will find a way to make money. It would not shock me.
It'd actually be it'd be good for baseball
Yeah,
if the Chicago Cubs were just straight up like the Juarez cartel.
fine by me. Maybe that would get Ricketts. Yeah, actually, I don't want him out, but yeah, he's whatever. Yeah, I fully think I was hanging out with some friends before we did the stream today, and we were joking about because one of my buddies who I have season tickets to the Cubs with, we were joking that Ricketts is going to do. He's going to open up the stadium 20%. They're going to have one concession stand. Then they're going to do surge pricing on that. And it's going to be genius.
Yeah,
it's
that's
absolutely
true.
going to happen. All right, so my who's back is the Big Ten. I actually have a list. So people have been saying they suck. They do. But I have a list of teams that are still in the tournament that are in the Big Ten. Rutgers covered 8.5 easily. You'd agree? You're wearing a Rutgers hat.
I do agree with that.
Michigan actually still in it. Ohio, because Bo Ryan's son recruited Jason Preston, and also Mac is Big Ten junior.
And I think also that since Ohio State got bounced, Ohio takes their place
Correct.
as the University of Ohio. Yeah.
Wisconsin, just for their Friday night performance. That's one. I mean, it's trivia now.
They
Roy
won a
Williams
game.
is 29-1 in the first round. Who's their one loss?
Badgers.
Wisconsin. Maryland, Iowa, Gonzaga. We talked about with Mark Titus, Jalen Suggs, Mr. Basketball from Minnesota. Loyola's Big Ten country. That's a no-brainer, right?
Yeah. I mean, Cameron Krutwig is the Big Ten mascot.
Right, exactly.
If you had a mascot for the entire conference,
Yes.
it's him.
Yes. Alabama, because Nate Oates got his, I think, graduate degree from Madison. So
And middle school teacher in Michigan.
there you go. So,
Okay.
sure.
That's
Okay.
extremely
Romulus.
Big Ten.
Yeah, Arkansas.
Don't come at Jake with these.
Yeah, Arkansas, just because we're friends with Eric Musselman. And I think that counts. And I
They
think
play
his
too-
dad coached
they're
at
too
Minnesota.
fast-paced.
His dad coached at
They're
Minnesota.
too fun.
His dad coached at Minnesota. And Oregon State wasn't Obama's brother-in-law?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
the head coach.
He was,
at
right?
one point.
So that counts.
And Tinkle's their head coach. It rhymes with Hinkle. Hinkle's in Indiana.
Oh, there we go, Jake.
You know what Jake's
Tinkle at
doing?
Hinkle.
Jake has consistently one up your fun facts in this
There it
entire
is.
list.
That was great.
You know what we should actually do at some point? We should sit down and make mascots for every conference.
Yeah, we should.
We absolutely need that. That's a good off-season.
By the way, who's back of the week? Did you see Joe Biden going up those stairs?
Yeah.
That's all I got. Fucking
Yeah.
ate it twice.
Ate it twice.
You know what? You can't do what Joe Biden did, and that is the initial reaction whenever you trip going upstairs is let me speed my pace up to show everyone how athletic I am, and
Still got it,
haha, I didn't trip up these stairs. Well, then you just trip up more stairs.
Yeah, so it's Gerald Ford, at least, he tripped going down the stairs when he was getting off the plane. What Joe Biden should have done, when you trip on a staircase or anywhere, if you ever trip, you look down at the ground where you just tripped and you act like there's something that you stepped on. And you're like, what
pick
was
it up,
You're
pick
like,
up
you're like,
something
you're like,
visible.
what was that? You scuff it up a little bit with your foot. You try to fix
Yep.
whatever the divot was.
Yep.
It was not a good performance by Uncle Joe.
I would just lay there and have them cart me off.
That would be one
Or
way
just
to do
go
it.
fall down the stairs.
Yeah.
And then it's like, hey, I broke my neck. What are you going to say?
It would be so. I'm not rooting for this to happen, but if a president were to be walking up the stairs into Air Force One, trip going up the stairs, and then fall over the railing 30 feet and break, it would objectively be very
Yeah,
funny.
no, I just laughed thinking about it.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap up the show with Jake's. This is Jake's predictions for one shining moment. So I asked him to take a running tally as we watch games all weekend. What he thinks will end up in one shining moment. Mm-hmm. This is important because we're gonna we will watch one shining moment and we will fact check against it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll try my best.
Okay.
I like this task.
Yeah. This is basically if you a young Jake Marsh dreamed of doing something like this.
Yeah, I'm all for it. Number one, the Virginia Tech tying 3 to force OT. That was an unreal way to
Yeah.
start the
Yeah.
tournament.
Was that deep three?
Did they win?
No, it didn't end up mattering, but it was still.
Yeah, but it's going to be in there.
It's gonna
I
make
mushed them big time. I tweeted out the Florida win beforehand.
Yeah, you did.
Almost cost us that entire thing.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I had the under.
Also from that
Fuck.
game, my who's back was going to be blood because every time there's someone with bloody on the floor, they just show it, and they show the blood on the floor. They show
Right.
the slow mo. So Florida's Tyree Appleby had a bloody nose. I feel like.
You're fighting
That
for
could
your
play.
life.
Yeah.
You're a shooting star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Exactly.
Oh, fighting for your life, yeah.
Something from the Oral Roberts upset.
Yep.
Something.
What?
All those
Anything
years,
specific?
no one knows.
I mean,
a screen-
Obenauer and A. Smith, they're two sharpshooters.
Okay.
Just them making threes, maybe.
You know what it should be? They should just
Fighting
cut
for your
in.
life.
They should real quick cut in that meme of the what you see versus what she sees.
Yes.
For the Oral Roberts game.
Yes.
Yeah.
One shining moment is bigger than memes.
Please,
best.
hey, please, yeah,
so
please
bittersweet when
don't
I'm
belittle
watching that.
Jake
I'm
Marsh's
sorry,
project.
The day a meme enters a one shining moment is the day I'm out.
Yes, agreed.
The
It's
highlight
very important to
that
Jake.
actually sparked this assignment. Gonzaga had someone threw it off the backboard and the other guy dunked it. I'm like, that's gonna make one shot.
Yeah, that's
moment,
right.
and that's what sparked this.
That's right. That's right.
So they did that against Norfolk State. Tanner Groves getting taken out for Eastern Washington, crying.
Yep.
That'll do it.
Yep.
All those
Ohio's
years.
dagger 3 against Virginia.
Yep.
Here's what I told PFT. This is my long shot. They are going to put a random VCU highlight from the regular season
No.
to give them their shine.
Isn't that great?
Or the conference championship, maybe them cutting down the nets. They
Yeah.
can't get
Because
robbed in
they-
one shining moment.
They made the
Wow.
tournament.
What do you think?
They have to be included. Jake's absolutely right.
But they didn't win their tournament, so maybe not.
That's fair.
Like if it was.
No, but they don't put just winners in.
No,
No, they
I know,
they
but
try
I'm
to put
saying they
everyone.
were not large. Like I'm saying, maybe they'll just put a Dan Woken tweet in there.
I'm telling you, like they're going to include something.
Yeah,
about
okay,
VCU.
okay.
This is where Jake's big J journalist brain is like. He's got a radar a lot.
Yes, okay.
Yeah. Sister Jean crowd shot. That's obvious.
Maybe here doing the hand
clap,
pat.
yeah.
The hand
Yeah.
pat. Yeah.
Rutgers' first tournament win since 1983, so maybe a shot or a dunk or a crowd shot.
Oh,
They deserve
yeah.
credit. They haven't been one to chime in.
Shout out Jackie April.
Yeah. Buddy Boeheim making a 3. There's plenty to choose
Duh.
from.
Yeah.
A Baylor monster dunk somewhere.
Over
Yeah,
Wisconsin.
there were like
I don't know.
too
God
many
damn
to
it,
pick from.
Jake.
And then one more I had. It was late night last night. The Abilene Christian player doing horns down after beating Texas.
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
I don't. That might not.
Is that not NCAA?
It's
like,
not-
Is that
yeah.
not good sportsmanship?
Well, the University of Texas will like threaten to withhold all their financial aid that they would ever give to any other school
Yeah.
Yeah.
if the NCAA disrespect them.
So-
Hank, can you look?
What
at-
about the UCLA bros?
Yeah, we can get them.
Oh,
Again,
yeah.
we still have half the
Hep
second round.
Cronin.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll tweet out since the show will already be out.
No, I want a running list, so don't tweet it.
Okay.
Just
I'll
keep
add it
at
for
it,
Wednesday.
and then we're gonna fact check.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
it's
speaking
gonna
of-
be
speaking
great.
of
Hopefully,
Rutgers-
the majority of these are on.
Speaking of Rutgers, Hank, can you describe to me what this meme is, real quick?
No.
What is it?
It's so
Looks like Tony
so
Soprano. It's
yeah,
dark.
it's Tony Soprano on the right that says Rutgers, and then Houston on the left, and that's Christopher, and he's killing him after the car accident. I tweeted this out when Rutgers was winning, but this is a scene from The Sopranos where he kills Christopher.
Did you see
I
mine
hope
from
we've
last
lost
night?
Hundreds of thousands of listeners.
Did you
over
see
people
what
upset
mine
over
from
this.
last night? It was Tony.
Because I never saw
It was
that.
Tony and Polly Walnuts on a boat.
I
with
did see that.
Pussy
I saw that.
Pompacero
That was before you
and said
guys
Texas
ruined the
is
fucking
back
show for me.
on Pussy, because then not in the face.
Yeah.
If AWS want to help, they can tweet at me so I can
Jake
bookmark
is still on his thing. He's totally not listening.
We're talking about
That's-
The
I love
Sopranos,
that.
Jake.
it. I know you're talking about the
We're
Rutgers.
trying to
meme.
ruin The Sopranos for people.
You remember?
Jake.
You remember when the guy with the ponytail? What's his name?
Furio.
Furio. Remember when Furio was thinking about pushing Tony into
In the
plane
helicopter,
propellers
yeah.
because he was trying to fuck Carmelo? Then they were in love, even though they never had sex. I don't think.
They
But
shared some passionate scenes of dancing in Italy and whatever.
they emotionally cheated.
Yes.
And-
She was dreaming about fucking him.
She fantasized about him. She
Right.
told Tony that one time, I've been fantasizing about Furio, but she was mad at Tony because Tony was being flagrant with his infidelity.
Yes.
She wasn't mad that he
Uma.
was cheating. She was just mad that he didn't respect her enough to keep it quiet.
Also, speaking of Sopranos, that one picture of me from Friday where I'm very large, barrel-chested. I look like
Cameron
I
Cutwood.
could. No, I look like I could be in the mafia. It could be barrel-chested men are back. Okay, it's power. All right, random number.
Wait,
18.
What?
28.
one more giant who's back of the week. Blake Griffin.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He
We talked
dunked.
about
Yes, he dunked.
Yeah,
We
but
did talk about
I
it, but yeah.
feel like we should give it
yes.
like our.
Well, no, we should no. Dude, he can dunk. We don't have to make a big deal of it.
It was his
Like,
first
he totally can dunk.
first dunk in 19
No, see,
games.
I don't think we should like. It is what it is, you know.
It was also his first points. I'm pretty sure that he was like, I'm not going to score until I dunk.
Yes, it was awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, I think there was an earthquake.
My pick is 8.
99,
28.
18.
61.
69.
61. Damn.
We got a fun fact.
Jake, pull up an animal fact.
Stand by.
Stand by. Love you guys.
Stand by.
Really love you guys. Love all of you. Every one of you guys. Love you. Guys.
Parrots will selflessly help each other out.
That's sweet.
Fucking cucks.
Are we parrots?
I don't know.
Yeah, we were with that Bitcoin. We were gonna
Yeah.
donate.
Bird gang. Love you guys.